Hi everyone, I wanted to make a shorter video this time, going over a game that I've been really enjoying, which is Granblue Rising. One of the mechanics I know a lot of people are talking about is 6XL and how frustrating it is to defend against it, and I totally understand. So for those who don't know, 6XL is a dash attack that's really hard to react to while having great priority. It links into your bread and butters with relative ease, and it's also plus unblock to allow for your block strings. And while it is kind of overwhelming, there are a lot of ways that you can mitigate its usage while you're on defense. And we're going to be using this as a learning experience because part of the difficulty of fighting games is navigating through strong mechanics. And hopefully this video can show you that there are means to defend against these tools while you can use them to your own full potential when you're on offense. But today we're just going to be going over defense. So 6XL is plus on block, and it has very great priority. So one of the things that people often want to do is mash. And while it is advisable to not mash most of the time, there are some things that are nuanced in 6XL. A Twitter video goes way more into detail on this, but you can't do 6XL into 6XL. That is fake. So we're going to have Cat block our 6XL. So we're going to go into opponent and have her block everything. And then we're going to go right into our character, no, not our character, so our counter attack settings and have Cat pressing 5L. So there is a way that in the game it is built in that you can't just press 6XL into 6XL. There is a gap in it. So I'm going to do 6XL into 6XL, and yeah, you get stuck. So if you see people doing 6XL into 6XL online, they are either testing you or are not aware that you can't just go and do the plus move into the plus move. So 5L is the immediate answer to that, or just any button that you can lab out that would allow to be a good punish for your character. For me, at least with Cat, 5L is pretty reliable. For me with Nier, 5L is also pretty reliable. Of course, you can get counter hit, so you have to be able to be reading the situation. If you're doing it repeatedly, it's definitely worth a mash. I think mashing is actually a pretty strong tool in the game, and it is extremely strong at calling out fake things. So yeah, this is real. So you don't want to press anything during this sequence. But if someone's doing like 6XL repeatedly, like yeah, it's not real. So be careful not to press anything there. So another tool that I wanted to go into specifically for characters I play is reversaling. You could reversal 6XL, but again, it is a calculated risk. So we're going to just have a Cat come in and try to 6XL us. So she's going to go 6XL into her button. And there you go. So Cat's going to come in. And there you go. Nice and simple punish. Block string. I could do other setups, but this one will do just fine. So it is a calculated risk because you are reacting with a reversal. In fact, I wouldn't even call it a reaction. I think it's more of a read. But if your opponent just has a tendency of just running at certain ranges and going right into 6XL, you can do a hard call out. And it works quite great with my character. Other characters have other means of calling out that isn't reversaling. So we're going to go and pick Zoe. So we're going to have Zoe doing her 6XH in response to Nier doing her 6XL. Zoe's 6XH is -8 on block, so it is also a read that you need to be a little bit careful not to just throw out after any interaction, because if they do block it, it is punishable. But in this case, if they're mashing 6XL, we can set Nier to do it herself, so here we go. So we're just gonna have, yeah, we're just gonna here do her whole 6XL, and see, it armors right through. Specifically, you can lab out a lot of these options with your moves that may have armor. I don't particularly know how to play Basaraga, but I imagine that he could have a call out towards 6XL, so a lot of it is labbing your character and trying to rotate around your options and see what can be done in reaction to 6XL and how safe or unsafe that option is. Zoe's is -8 on block, but if they are reading you and doing it within your game plan of pressing 6XL and neutral, she can use it as a hard call out. And it puts her in a pretty advantageous position because it knocks down and she is fully on offense. One of the last mechanics that I wanted to go over was your Brave counter system. And it's basically your alpha counter, and it is one of the best ways of going from your defense to your offense because it is safe on block. In fact, it is plus on block, and it allows you to be able to transition from defense to offense very seamlessly. So, if you use your Brave counter, it does take 1 Brave point, and you have 3. If you use just 1, there is no penalty, but if you have 2 Brave points missing, you take a 20% penalty on damage, and if you are missing all your gems, you take a 50% modifier. So it is a calculated risk, but I do think that it is very well worth it because of being plus on block. It does knock down on hit, and you also do a bit of chip damage on them on top of it. So we're going to have Nier just run up and do... So, switch on over to Nier, and she's going to do... And, yep, they lose a little bit of health. You are safe. You are actually in an advantageous position, and you get to basically start your offense. So one thing we're going to have Kat do is just basic pressure sequence, and she's knocked down, and she is now going after block. And the onus is now on her to start playing defense. So that's one of the best parts of using your bravery point system, especially for alpha countering, is that it allows you to transition to offense very seamlessly. But it is a calculated risk, and personally, at the end of a round, if it looks like they could lose just enough chip health for me to be able to be in a comfortable range just to use an ultimate or a special to either chip them out or just put them in pressure, I would go for it personally. But that is a judgment call based on your own sensibilities and playstyle. I think 6XL is an incredibly powerful tool, but I do also think that there is counterplay around it, and I want to use these videos not as a panacea that gives you every single answer for a situation, but at least allows you to go into training mode and lab out your options. I know my options as Nier and Cats personally, but I'm sure that there's so many other options that you guys can rotate around by just going into the lab and understanding the ins and outs of the tool and knowing what your risk and reward is. And hopefully this video allows you to see that 6XL is extremely powerful, but there are answers around it, and we can be labbing to figure out how to allow ourselves to defend against it better. I do want to make a video that goes into 6XL as an offensive tool and maximizing it, but I personally think that on defense is where it was the most important for me to really drill into my head, because it is going to be something you're going to be going into a lot, whether you're playing online or in tournaments or with friends who have an idea on how the game works. So I hope that this video helps you find some answers to allow you to navigate around one of the best tools in the game. Thanks for watching. I'm going to make more of these guides at some point soon, so keep your eyes peeled for them. You can follow me on my Twitter at romanticcancel 2 L's. You can follow me on my Twitch at RomaniVT, ROMANIIVT. And I do a lot of streaming. This is my VTuber model. I hope you guys are cool with me using my model, but I hope you guys have a great day, and you guys should give yourselves more credit. I know it's really hard playing fighting games, but we can get better at them by figuring out new tools together. So hopefully that helps. Catch you guys next time.